Sophie,
Hi.
how are you today?
Didn't put any makeup today. I look so, I don't know. So
No, you're all right. Don't worry.
fine.
You look fine because you're only 19-year-old. Good.
Thank
Did you
you.
get
No, no. I just had a walk with my mom. So
up? Oh, so you went out for a walk with your mom. Where did
yeah.
you go to?
We went to a park nearby our house. So
Oh, that's nice.
yeah,
So
we
you
talked
spent
a
big,
lot
big
because
building.
like yeah.
That's where I live. Jumbo one.
That's really beautiful. I
And
like that.
right there. Oh,
Yeah,
don't move. There. That's
yeah,
the window I'm sitting next to. Yeah.
yeah.
Right. So because I had problem closing my Zoom yesterday, so I decided to remove it and reinstall it, and I hope all the technical issues would be gone. So everything's changed, including the background. Right. Good. Anything new you want to share?
So I just had a talk with my mom because like we are discussing when do I have to be abroad to be an exchange student, and like we also discussed like if I study master degree in England and if I work in US, and just like yeah, discussing about things like this. Like, if I get the master degree in England, can I work in United States? Because like one of the teacher in her school, her son also have a master degree in England, but he didn't. But he actually can't work, or yeah, the United States didn't um, admit his master degree certification. So yeah,
Mm.
and
And
so like I talked with my mom like, so if I study master degree in England, should I just work here and even live here? Because I can't go to United States. If I go to United States, then I will have to study master degree and master degree again, and also the doctor, yeah,
doctor
so,
degree.
yeah.
Mm.
So
That's
we
many
were
hours of study. Or say many
so
years of study.
yeah. So she's wondering, yeah, if I should study in England, or she is actually curious about like how can I work, like because I'm going to study nurse. So yeah, maybe this is one of advantage that is everywhere needs nurses, but actually she is wondering like what is the working conditions or in England, and also if I study master degree and even work there, then like how can I get um how can I live in England as long as possible? Yeah.
So usually a lot of people they come over to the UK, of course they apply for study first, and that will take a few years. And before graduation, they will go to a lot of job expos to look for, possibilities. And sometimes they get headhunted if they're really brilliant, even when they're in the school. But most of the people they would use agencies.
Yeah.
So you can rely on yourself, use LinkedIn. That's a really good thing to use, and you can look for like like in Taiwan we have 104 111 those number sites, and here we have Indeed, Read, Monster, and a lot of other sites. Yeah, so if you really come over here, I think I can provide more information to adapt to what you really need that time. It's a little still too early.
Yeah. And we actually discussed like if I need to go to the cram school for IELTS. Yeah.
Yeah, so IELTS would be mandatory.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because she thought that I have to practice my writing and also the reading, English writing and English reading. So like she is not sure if I can get enough practice here. So she's wondering that. But she also said she really like you. She really like you. She still wants to stay in touch with you. So yeah, and I told her like, yeah, if I could, I would definitely miss everyone here. And
Oh, she's
yeah,
so
and yeah, especially Greg. I'm not sure if I can text him because I knew he got COVID, and I'm not sure what can I help him. Just yeah, I really hope that I can. Yeah, I really hope that I can do something for him.
stop flattering me. Give that. All right, all right. It's not really that, you know what it means. Uh, but if you come over here, will you come here alone, or she will, come with you? Actually, because she's a teacher working in the high school, so I guess it would be kind of difficult for her to postpone her job there for a few years, right?
Yeah,
So she will have to stay in Taiwan, and you will be here alone.
yeah, I think so.
What
I
about your
mean, like, yeah.
come over here too? I mean, if you
I
do,
I think maybe one day I will because I told like most of my family members, like my grandma and also my dad, that I want to study master degree in England. Also, I have a lot of family who live in the United States and they can give me a lot of support. Yeah, because some of them are in medical field and also yeah, yeah, just I can got I can get a lot of support from them.
that's
Uh,
actually so important because you don't have any family here, right?
yeah,
You
so
can, you do have a big family there in the States. So probably the support you will receive is actually much better there.
yeah, just I'm not sure about that. Just yeah, I I know. Just I want to give it a try. Just yeah, to
Yeah,
live in
you have to do a very thorough consideration because you can't just come here because Stephanie says really good here. There are so many aspects you have to really look into. Yeah, so but anyway, I'll be here if you're really coming over here. A lot of things I can be of a help, especially information collection or like opinions, suggestions. Lots of things I can really suggest from my point of view. Yeah. Well, anyway, so it's still a long way to go. So at least a year or two from here, right?
yeah.
Yeah, good. So let's just stay in touch and make sure we will always notify each other in case anything goes not wrong, anything goes differently. Like if I was to go back to Taiwan for a while to visit someone and you're still there, I'll notify you too. I'll notify all my students and say, hey, I'm back in Taiwan, come see me.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember when I was in Taiwan, and I'm always playful. I like to organize activities, so I organize karaoke singing party
Yeah.
to invite all my students from island wide, from Kaohsiung, from Taichung, together Taoyuan because I lived in Hsinchu that time, and
Yeah.
the karaoke I booked that was in Taoyuan because one of my students, her name is Ami, she was high tech company sales manager. She's quite good at doing things, and she volunteered to organize it, and I was happy. So I had to adapt to where she was, and now she's in China. Yeah, so everybody was invited there. That was fun. And I took my son and my Hawaii, the Vietnamese maid, and that was
Yeah.
a nice trip. And it was a costume party.
Wow. So what did you wear?
And that's right before Christmas. So I dressed up as a Mrs. Santa.
Quite interesting. Yeah.
I can't remember the karaoke. And somebody showed up like pirate. One's like, oh yeah. She's the one she dressed up as a pirate with mustache. And she's
Yeah.
a lovely lady. She's a beautiful woman actually. Yeah, and some like so not Sun Wukong, you know, the anime role from Japan. Qilongzhu. Qilongzhu, the main role, I can't remember his name. Yeah, but it's fun. And so it's the thing is when you enjoy what you're doing, then you won't feel time is very, very slow. You feel time's flying. And that's the
Yeah.
time I spend with my students. It always flew so fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now I don't get to see people physically, virtually. Still good, still good. So when we are to get together, and that would be online. So if I was to go back to Taiwan, I'll surely send a notice to everyone.
Yeah.
And we'll have to arrange a huge table with everybody sitting around. That'd be fun. Yeah. Anyway, so
Good.
it's our free talk day today. So anything else you want to talk?
Well, um,
Anything particular you like? Or you
my
you
mom, my mom actually wants me to ask like, how can I get
what?
how can I live in England for a long time? 永久居留权. Mm.
So we call that indefinite leave to remain. Indefinite leave to remain. So we have a short name ILTR. Yeah, ILTR. Not D ILTR. Yeah, 无限期居留 indefinite. But definite means definite. That's
Yeah.
it. It's cut off. Indefinite means like infinite. Infinite. So means not limited. Yeah,
Yeah.
and so leave to remain, leave, to leave the border, remain to stay. So it means you can come in and out anytime you want, and you don't have that restriction of how many days you're abroad, and when you're back and your visa is canceled, everything's settled. But
Yeah.
this is a different thing compared to citizenship. Citizenship. So that is called 永居. 永居. They call that Chinese. Yeah, and this is for when you have ILTR. It doesn't mean you have a passport, but you
Yeah.
can stay for long. But your passport could still be a foreign passport.
Yeah.
But when you're a citizen here, it means you definitely have this ILTR, and you also have a passport. So what is the
Yeah.
difference? You have to apply for a citizenship after you get your ILTR.
Yeah.
If you like. And if you don't, it's fine. Then you have still a single passport. But if you're from a country that allows dual nationality, then you have two passports and
Yeah.
ILTR. Yeah, so it's quite durable. It depends on what you choose. And so your mom actually prefers you to stay here in the UK for long?
Yeah, she wants me to stay here for long since she knows like one of her friends in school her son actually studied master degree in England, and she is the top in his class. So, but yeah. And after he got his master's degree, he went to America for applying um doctor degree, but the America doesn't admit his master's degree. So
Oh,
so it's like
is it the school reputation problem? Or is the
no,
system
no. I
alignment?
think my mom said his school, the university was his study is quite famous. But
Mm.
yeah, so
So it's famous but not included in the list they acknowledge.
yeah.
Oh, that's a shame though. So what is the way out?
So I asked my mom like, so are you going to say that maybe so I was wondering that if I study master degree whether I should work in England and live in England. Yeah.
A lot of people do that. You know, of course, when you're a student, you won't be allowed to take a job unless it's internship. But you can apply through agencies or through your employers. They will have to apply for the visa you need, and there are all sorts of visas here. And once you get this, you don't need to apply for a visa. You have the work permit. It comes along with this. So when you
Yeah.
have indefinite leave to remain, it means you're allowed to work here too. But of course, it's a long way to apply for this. So if we were to search for that, there. So remember, if you want to search for anything related to the UK, especially governmental information, definitely go to this site only. Don't
Yeah.
take any information from any other sites because it could be first outdated, second it could be false. Some are scamming. So try to only rely on one source only. That's this. Whenever you see this goof.com, sorry,
Yeah.
.uk, it's government UK. Yeah, so this is the most reliable one, right? It's quite useful. A lot of things are very simply displayed, very easy to comprehend. Yeah, to find out if you can apply to settle in the UK. This is another way to say to settle in the UK means to have ILTR. Yeah, so to settle means to stay for long. So you first have to take a quiz. So you continue and then you do all these tick, 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 tick. At the end, it will tell you whether you're eligible or not, or what steps you will need to take if you're not too far away from the qualification. So you just stay on track. You know, pay your attention onto this. Then because when they update, you don't get notified unless you sign up to a subscription or something like that to normal websites. But this is a governmental website, so you can subscribe, but you can always come back. Yeah,
Yeah.
anytime you want, right? So that's a lot here. So like the first one, you see you are a citizen of an EU country, but no longer here. So so it's a little tricky.
Yeah.
Yeah, like from EU countries or Switzerland, Norway, Iceland, and where is that? Liechtenstein, 列支敦士登. Where is that? I don't know where that is.
I
So let's
know.
take a look. I've never heard about that country. 列支敦士登. Do you have another name of it?
Liechtenstein.
Liechtenstein. And I don't know. You know what? It should probably have the end of it. Should always be a Chinese one there. Let's see what it is. Still that. I really have no idea what country this is. 列支敦士登. I know it's a tiny country, or else we should have heard about it. But anyway, so you're not from there. So let's get back. Yeah, and it says choose the option which describes you best. if you have a visa from as the dependent of someone else select their visa because you have no one from your family living here or you like your
Yeah.
relatives, right? So not really eligible to you, I mean. So if none of these, at least you can tick that and then go to next step. So for example, like this, and you may not be eligible to apply because you don't have any families here. So
Yeah.
it tells you that, but it's not a definite answer. You may not. Yeah, and also that's the current policy. So you usually the I think people come here for study for years, or some people just stay here for 2 years for work, and then they, I mean, for study, and then they look for a job and get a really good visa because there are different working visas, and some can grant you a few years, some can grant you only a year, something like that. So it depends on what kind of visa you get, and also what job, what industry you're in, and what kind of employers you have. If your employer is really good at applying right visa for long-term stay and also can grant you a stability because you're from the medical field, so it's possible actually, you know. If you were from like international trading or things like that, probably not because it's more to do with sales and marketing. So it's worth it to look into. Yeah, but do you worry a lot for it?
A little bit because like I mean there's full of uncertainty, but I am quite adventurous, so yeah. Yeah, this
Here's something useful for you to know, you know, because it takes, usually normal cases, it takes 5 years, 5 years stay, legal stay here.
yeah,
And it's consistent, right? It doesn't mean you can leave, but if you leave the UK within the 5 years, you can only leave up to like 183 days or so, something like that. That's what I remembered. Or within the time, if you get back here, you can continue to accumulate the time staying in the UK. So it could be
yeah,
like first year you leave for a month, that's fine, and then you come back. Second year, you go for half a year, but within 183 days, roughly that long, and you come back, then it's still consecutive, 连续的. Yeah, it's non-stop. But once you break that, you have to go back to zero again, back to square one and accumulate from day one again. So this is the thing you have to remember. And also, in my case, I hired a lawyer. They call that solicitor because it was complicated. I came in with a EU visa, almost. So I came in with, well, actually, I didn't come in with EU visa. I came with a tourist identity without any visa because, Taiwan and UK, we have the agreement of half a year or, 6 month visa-free tourism stay.
yeah,
So you can stay for up to 6 months without any visa here as a tourist. But beyond that, you're out and you will leave yourself a blacklist
yeah,
record. But within that time, it's okay, you can go. But if you are really tricky, you stay for 5 months and 29 days or something like that, and then you leave. Next time when you come back in here, you may get stopped, even you don't have a blacklist record, because immigration officer will check your passport, and computers are so smart, it matches your record. Like, oh, it's been twice, 3 times, you're doing that. Like you stay for nearly half a year and then you go. A few months later or a few weeks later, you come back. Another half a year stay and then you go. If you do that, they know you're tricky. You're trying to abuse the how to call that, the foreign or um, how to call it, foreign affair freedom here granted for countries like Taiwan, and you'll still get blacklisted. So just gotta be careful. And so if you're coming over here, I'm pretty sure you will arrive with a student visa. Yeah, so probably you don't have to worry too much for that. And once you start, once you finish your study, once you start to work and consecutively legally for 5 years, you should be able to apply for this. So that means you can count the days after you graduate as long as you can stay legally with the work with a and how to call that, with a valid working visa. Then you
Yeah.
can start to calculate your days. Yeah, but of course, a lot of people they I won't say a lot. Like some people I know they came here to study and then found a job and also found a husband, a local one. So in my case, it's totally different. We got together and then I came over. So it's
Yeah.
a very different thing. Yeah. But it's still quite complicated. Even those female Taiwanese people, they come here in the past and now and maybe in the future, even as an identity as a fiance, still complicated. They can apply for their how to call that? They can apply for a temporary legal stay, but they can't stay too long. And if they are to apply for something like this, they have to go back to Taiwan to apply. That's really weird. Or a married couple, and they have to go through very strict, how to call that? Marital status, not examination, but background check. Because a lot of, false marriage cases. Yeah, especially Chinese wife and British husband, especially a case like that. That's especially difficult to get through. But Taiwanese wife and British husband, easier compared to that. Because fewer cases, and also most of the people from Taiwan were very decent. We're not trying to fake. A lot of cases from there are, faking. So because of that, unfortunately, we got 扫到台风尾, because in the past, Taiwan was considered part of China, right? Now people know we're not. So it's still, so situation is getting, changing day by day and towards positiveness. So it's a good thing. And when you come to the UK, you can feel really proud and proclaiming you're a Taiwanese.
Really? Why?
Well, because now people know Taiwan much, much better. They know this name now. Like, like even yesterday, international news from the States, the White House is considering, actually they suggested they're considering to change our foreign affair office with them in the States to be changed officially to Taiwan, not Taipei, Taiwan.
Yeah.
And or Taipei something office, that is a big change. Structurally, it's a great improvement with our foreign affair with them, right? So it's a great thing. So even you go to the States, feel proud, feel proud. People know about Taiwanese very well now, I think, compared to the past. Lots of the people they consider Taiwanese are from Thailand. When I came here, it was kind of
They're
like that.
stupid.
Similar
Right.
sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So, so actually you can start to look into this indefinitely to remain and understand it a little bit more and think about your, future job. Like, for example, like you're as a Taiwanese and you want to fly. If you finish your study here, can you apply to be a cabin crew or a flight attendant? Yes, you can. With some, well, of course, it has to be international, international airlines. I just always feel a little weird because it doesn't fit your current study,
Yeah.
but
Me
it's a foundation of it anyway. Because, we say new intakes or say new job applicants in the airline industry, especially flying roles. If you come with medical background, you're very popular.
Yeah.
Because you don't need extra training, although you will still receive some. But they believe you're much easier to train. So the investment on you would be much cheaper compared to other applicants. They welcome that.
I'm
So it's a
just
good foundation.
wondering if it is easy to find a job in the UK because I search a lot of some I search a lot of people who actually study in UK and work in UK. Um, they said it is really difficult to find a job in England, and it was like,
Well, first it depends on their specialties, you know, their major, and the second is the timing. And the third is how good are they at job seeking? And the fourth is how good are they at passing the interview to be hired? The last two happen everywhere in the world, right? You need to
yeah,
be good to find yourself possibilities, chances, and you need to be good enough to get through to get the offer. So this is everywhere. So take these two off. So the first two, your expertise or your major and the timing. These two, are they under your control? Partially. Timing is not totally under your control. For example, those graduates last year, the
yeah.
worst year. They graduated last year. Could they manage to get any interview, physical interviews? Kind of like it possible, Mission Impossible, because no employers wanted to hire new people because they were facing a crisis. They were thinking of closing their businesses. Loads of SME companies in the UK closed during the last 365 days.
Yeah.
So the job market was just very droopy, very sleepy. So that's the worst timing. But honestly, timing like that, once in your lifetime, probably. And it has happened. So I assume it will not when you graduate. It won't get that bad again. Let's pray it won't. So then back to the first one. So in the medical field, so you know better. So if you were to stay on the same track in the medical industry, what kind of position would you want to pursue?
Maybe I really want to be a physician, yeah, or a nurse. That would be fine. I mean, just as long I can stay in medical field and any career, I think it will be fun for me.
So if so, let's look for, so if that means you actually had to actually go through the internship training first, you will be dispatched to a medical institute, for example, like a local hospital or something like that,
Yeah,
right? And you will be an intern there for a year or so, I think.
yeah, maybe a year.
So how many years of internship for for what for well yeah, oops, turn for newly graduates. Oh, not yet. Medical new medical graduates. Oops, UK. Take a look. Somebody will probably see there. So this, I'm using Google. You can use this in Taiwan, the Chinese version, and you just need to set the location and the criteria is right.
Yeah,
Location UK, even more specifically, a city like Manchester, like Leeds, like York, London, wherever you want, or the whole nation, just UK. Then you have, you know, a broader result. So like this one, the job title, working for this Lexington company in London, and that's via this site called W4NP job. So it must be, you know, a platform for only medical, you know, people. And so this is an intern. And that's 20 days ago, 15 days ago, 12 hours ago. So let's go to the, I want to see the result there. So 31 jobs. And let's sort it Is that all sorted here? Owner, company type, and you can narrow down the filtering criteria, like, and there are so many different, like management, you maybe too early, consulting companies or management company information. Nah, not really. Yeah, so maybe not that, or like type internship, because you're only looking for this, right? So narrow it down from 30 something down to how many? It doesn't tell us how many, huh? I thought it usually does. Like 12 hours ago, this is the one we just saw. And like location date, okay, there. So say past week to make it more useful. So within a week, and there's only one, right? No, oh, a few. Good. So how many? Oh, this is a bug. It doesn't tell you how many. Looks like nearly 10. And filtering it, I think they should have a sorting here. Location, title. That's weird. I used to see a sorting here. Anyway, so then you can look for all the information you need and apply.
Yeah.
So I won't say job market is as bad as last year. And you say your friends, I can judge them because I don't know them and I don't know how good they are in, you know, in the field they studied, and how good they are in job seeking. Like even this, a lot of people don't know about this. This is a simple thing. It's a Google search, but you just need to use the right criteria. And also you need to set up your alarm, sorry, your alert. So new job alert, set it up, you get notified.
Yeah.
So you just wait there and passively wait for a good one to drop in your pocket. And then take a look. You like it, go for it. You don't, drop it. Right. And I don't need it, so I'll just deactivate it. So like things like this everywhere, not just Google, but Google is a good platform. It collects all the information you may need from everywhere, all the platforms. So this is one thing, and certainly you can use other things like, see, like job searching sites, job site, we call them. UK job sites. See on the top, these are promoted. AD means advertisement, right? So they are paying to promote themselves. So that means they're doing a good business. Use them for free. So Indeed is a global one. And this one is Total Jobs. Yeah, that is also a big one here. And Recruitment Genius, not sure, but they're paying to promote themselves anyway. And Reed, as famous as Indeed, like this is Google, and also, right, Total Jobs. There are other job sites, like, oh, even the government one, you can use that too, the gov.com, find a job, but you also have to use it as an agency site, build your profile and set the alert, and you will get notified. Still the same thing, you still have to send your CV, you still have to contact the HR or recruiters, and all the same thing. So when people tell me they find it very difficult to find jobs, I first ask them, so what have you done? Where have you gone to? Yeah. So if everything they have done is really everything they could do, and in the market there is nothing else they can find, then I'll say it is really tough.
Yeah.
But they haven't seen the whole world. They're only focusing on what they have seen. They're not really, it's just like a horse with the blind.
Yeah.
They're running their race just straight. Then I'll say there are still much more they can do. They need to remove the blinds, run
Yeah.
other ways. Yeah, and you're clever, so I don't worry too much for you,
Thank you.
Also, jobs are everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, say fundamentally is whether or not you like it.
Yeah.
If what you really need is just a job, whatever it is, you will definitely find one. Yeah. Yeah. Anything else you want to know?
Wow, I think that's all for now.
Yeah, I'm gonna send all these to the group. Then you can keep a track.
Okay.
They're useful because I use it too. And the best I like is still this LinkedIn. Even you know, even as a student, this is we call the commercial Facebook for business use. So all the connections or associates here are from the business world, no matter what fields they are. If you connect with them and your business associate circle is broadening, you know, layer by layer, day by day. Like I joined this a few years ago and now it's organically growing. Organic means naturally. So I'm not doing anything, but people come to me, they connect with me. So if I was to show you that's, so that's mine. So my business profiles, I don't need a CV, resume. This is my resume, my CV. So everything's there. Everything people need to know about me, all there. And I have got nearly 1,500. Yeah, 1,490 something connections in my social circle, business social circle here. Okay, is it? It's still something else somewhere. Ah, there. There. Oh, there. It says the connection. I have 1,500 people connected with me. Do we know each other very, very well? Not necessarily, but we like to connect because we know one day it will come in handy. And I post things from time to time. I share things from time to time, and I read what they share from time to time. So, like when you go there, see, the first 1ST means the first connection. It's a little interesting. It's quite interesting here. The structure is 3 layers. First connection, second connection, third connection. First connection means we're directly connected. Like if you were on LinkedIn, you're my first connection because we know each other like this.
Yeah.
But your friend, for example, like Judy,
Yeah.
Judy knows you, she knows me, but she's not connected with me on LinkedIn. She's my second connection because she's my connections connection.
Yeah.
So then further on would be the third. So the third is a total stranger. The second may be a total stranger, but that person knows someone I know.
Yeah.
So when somebody from my second connection pool send invitation, I will take a look at their connection. Do we have any friends in common or
Yeah.
connection in common? And if I think it's worth it to connect, I will accept. So now I
Yeah.
no longer send an invitation out. And can you look for jobs here? You see, go up to the job, tell your friends who told you it's difficult to find jobs. Ask them, have you started to use LinkedIn? No, just tell them you're behind the train. Use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if they want to catch up, you know, the workplace culture in the UK, everybody has one. So they need to create a LinkedIn profile. Why? Because all other sites collaborate with LinkedIn. Just like Google, all the sites collaborate with Google. So it's the same thing, but you won't have a Google profile, do you? You do, but you don't want it to be shown to people because it's your privacy. But LinkedIn is different. LinkedIn is business purpose. So you build yourself a CV or profile on LinkedIn and change your privacy according to your preference, and then look for a job. Well,
Yeah.
broaden your connections and look for people you know to make your connection number bigger. Then you get noticed. So when
Yeah.
you look for a job, like if you want to search for, okay, so if I was to search for a job, uh, business, okay, business development manager, for example, if that's the job I'm looking for, you know how many? 17,436 globally. It means you don't just look for local jobs. You could possibly get hired on LinkedIn from overseas, working from home, or getting invited to go abroad. It's it's literally the best method to use. And well, I'm sorry, this is not globally, this is UK. Do you see that it popped up there, UK? So if I take it off, see how many, and do the search. It was 17,000, right? And does it have UK here? No more? It's not changing. Filter, date posted. Oh, there's another thing you can use there. Easy apply. Easy apply means you apply straight away on LinkedIn. And that's like, if you click, see that's 17,000, right? If you click easy apply, it will make the list shorter to only 3,700.
Yeah.
That saves you so much time. And you can just simply click there. So if I was to apply, for example, apply, then it will ask me what to do here, like da 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 next and da 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 da. It's all, the resume has been sent to LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So everything's here, just like a job site. And next, answer all the questions, and then next review, and then done.
Yeah.
So it's only 1 minute job seeking on LinkedIn. But if you are to do this on Google, it will take you 10 minutes or so, or even longer than that.
Exactly.
Yeah, so there are loads of ways. So I said the 4 things. The first 2,
Yeah.
you can control fully, but the last 2 you can control, totally.
Yeah.
Because you can learn to be good at it. But you can change your major once you graduate. But can you
Exactly.
enhance it? Yeah, go for further study and get a better certificate or diploma. But it takes years. But learning
Yeah.
to be able to use tools like what I showed you, it takes a few days only, much easier.
Yeah.
So that's job seeking. And the 4th is your interview skills. How to present yourself professionally, how to make yourself the best candidate. It takes practice. It's presentation, it's meeting skill, it's also negotiation skills. Like the end of your interview, when you get through many phases and you're about to be hired, they may ask you tricky questions. How do you still handle the last minute to make sure you get the offer? So that is actually, this is the easiest one. I mean, the method sites, this is the most difficult, not these
Yeah.
2. Yeah, these 2 is your past.
Yeah.
And that's your present, and that's your future. So you when you can really, reflect your thinking on these 4 things and categorize them into totally controllable or partially, then you can focus more on this totally controllable things and grow in a few days to find all the right tools. Then all the worries are gone. The last is to practice, practice, practice. Then you should be the successful candidate they like. But for those who think they have the best qualification, who think they have got what it takes to find jobs, for example, only using 104, 1111, or like our local 104 here, they think they have done everything they can. They haven't. They're only doing half.
Yeah.
Right. And they don't practice their interviews, so they always fail. So they find 100 jobs, or they're not really good at that. They find 10 jobs and they send resumes out, and only half of the job possibilities come back for an interview, and they go for all the interviews but fail all. So how well would that be? So this is the problem. So the best candidate can send 100 out and get 50 back, go to maybe 10, get 1 to 5 succeeded. That is the best candidate.
Yeah.
Yeah, so because you're young, you're not even doing your job seeking yet, but you're
1
getting
o'clock.
verified by your 学姐学长.
And yeah, one of my senior students, senior classmates, she actually very supportive because she also studied UCLO when she was a student. And now she is studying master degree in my university. So yeah, she
Our
told me,
university.
yeah, in my university. And
Don't say
she,
mine. Mine means you're the 校长, you're a principal, you know.
our
So
university.
our.
Our, yeah, our university. So it's like I know something about England, but not so many. And I think it is always nice that I can know a lot of information from people. Yeah. And
So
also,
it's good. It's good.
yeah,
You know,
it's good.
you're like a sponge, but try not to absorb only one perspective. Try to open up all the doors and listen to all different voices. Like I told you, it's not that difficult here. Don't trust me. Do it yourself, and then you know. But
Sure.
when I'm one of the voices, and you also listen to your 学姐, okay, your teacher, and your other friends, and
Yeah.
other successful people, or
Yeah.
some failed, then you listen to all the voices. Then you have your own judgment there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is the best way. Then you are a healthy sponge. Yeah. Don't listen to only one person.
Okay.
Not even listening to me only. Yeah. Let me be one of the voices.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm not really that worried for you, you know, because I can see you're a clever girl, and your mind is very open, and your ears are very open too. So I feel, you know, what it takes is just time.
Yeah.
Give you time to grow, give you time to absorb more, give you time to collect more, you know, associates everywhere. And you are a very sociable person, from, you know, from what I can tell here. You're sociable, so you definitely will have a lot of voices coming in soon. Yeah. So I don't worry too much for you. Just don't get
Thank you,
terrified by
Stefan.
those who failed.
Okay. Thanks.
What day? Thursday. Right. Next hour we have Jay. Jay's back.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun. Jay's face is very serious, but he's a good
Yeah.
guy. He's a good man.
His face always serious, but he told me a lot of stories of
Yeah,
his
exactly. You know, he has a
daughter.
lot of stories to share. He has a lot of stories in the States and in Europe, and also in Asia.
Is he from France or German? I'm not sure.
He's from somewhere in Europe, and actually, I don't really know where he was born, but I know he lived in the States for a long time, and then moved to, and he's an
Thailand.
American citizen, but now he lives in Thailand.
Thailand. Yeah.
Bangkok, yes. So he lives in Bangkok. So pretty much your time zone, right? And but in a few years' time, he will have to move again. I remember last time in the meeting, I heard him say he is planning to take his kids. He's got two kids. He's planning to move to Europe somewhere. So I said, come to
Wow.
the UK. A lot of us are in the UK. He
Yeah.
said he's considering. No, you never know. All right, good. So you know what? If you really come here, and if he comes, how many of us can meet here? You know, you can see me and Hector and Greg and maybe Jay. Now, not these two. They will be in South Africa, you know, South Hemisphere. And Ray is in.
Philippines.
Yes. Yeah. He's living.
But he told me he wanted to get back to New York, so I was thinking like, oh, okay, it's because like I have some family there, and also most of them live in either California or Texas, but yeah, and
Big
also
Apple.
and also my cousin, she studied in New York University. So she lived in New York for almost a year. So yeah.
Yeah, so you see, no matter where you go, you will have some people you have already known
Yeah, so
somewhere
that's
nearby.
why I'm so excited to be abroad because
Yeah. Oh,
like
and Josh, he lives in somewhere in
Arizona.
Arizona, yeah. So you know our TSMC, our Hugo Shenzhen is gonna set up a new fab there. So a lot of
Yeah,
Taiwanese people will go to Arizona. A few hundred engineers from Hsinchu. You may
really?
meet them there if you go there.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, interesting. A very small world, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, you can see the whole world here, the whole earth. Right. And you know, really, we never know if, you know, one day you want to have a part-time job. For example, like when you go to the UK or when you come, like you come to the UK or you go to New York, and you know, that would be a few years from now, your English would be even much better. And if you want to apply for a part-time teacher here, maybe by then we will have possibilities and just let me know. You can be one of our tutors. We always
Wow.
love to hire, you know, Chinese speaking English tutors who have good accent and good attitude and culture understanding. Yeah, nationality has never been the issue, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, so good. I look forward to that day.
Okay. I'm so excited about it too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you know what? You can try in Taiwan too. Begin your because you're a good presenter, you'll make a good teacher, honestly. Usually, good presenters make good teachers. You know how to conduct a meeting, one-on-one or you know one to many, but that is a good way to train your guts
Yeah.
and good way to train your presentation skills and getting paid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds
All right.
really intriguing.
It's, you know, it's time is never enough. Never enough. Oh, you know the song. What's that? Something Ma Xi Tuan, the circus thing. The Greatest Showman. Oh, their
Oh,
soundtrack is so good. I love it. The whole soundtrack. And one
wow.
of it that's never enough. That
Oh
song,
yeah. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
that
I
tells
remember.
my heart. That's the feeling, you know.
Wow.
Every time when I come to the listen, I always feel time is never enough. Not money, all right? Time is never enough.
Yeah.
When you're with right people, if you understood what I mean. But when you're with wrong people, 1 minute is long enough.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good. So if you want, you can have a chat with Jade now. All right, I'll let you
Okay.
go. And so
Okay.
far, my Zoom seems to be very functional. I'm very happy. Finally, it's normal. Good. I hope I can close my Zoom. Right. So I'll see you in the next lesson. All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye, Stephanie.
Bye.